World University Games. Inside the arena they call the Dancing Phoenix, we are moments away from beginning the second half of the individual all-around final, which will feature the clubs and ribbon routines following on from yesterday's hoop and ball competition. In group competition, it will be the mixed apparatus routine that will determine the all-around champion, and we will come back to that after the individual final. Now for the individuals, the story is very interesting and potentially historic because leading the way is Fanny Pignitsky of Hungary, who holds a 2-point lead over Kristina Poronichna of Ukraine with the hoop and ball routines done. Sitting in third place in the potential bronze medal position is China's Li Huilin. This is the second day of the all-around final in rhythmic gymnastics at these World University Games. Potentially, this is a historic moment for Hungary because the nation has never won a medal in rhythmic gymnastics competition at a World University Games. And Pignitsky, with a 2-point lead, has some room to maneuver. Now that said, clubs and ribbon are among the most difficult of the apparatus to master, and so nothing is set in stone. There is a sense that anything can happen. The lights have gone down in the arena, and that means only one thing: competition is imminent. Here is a look at the start list for Group A of this individual all-around final. Andreea Verdes of Romania, who will begin the show, this time performing with the clubs. Also in this first group of athletes is Fanny Pignitsky, who will perform towards the bottom of the order. Today she too will begin with the clubs. Others to keep an eye on: Elzhana Tanieva of Kazakhstan. She is currently in 6th place, but she is fantastic with all 4 apparatus.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chengdu 2021 FISU World University Games Rhythmic Gymnastics event, Group A of individual all-around clubs ribbon is now to begin.
让我们一起倒数：10、9、8、7、6、5。
It's the final countdown to the final part of the individual all-around final here at the World University Games in Chengdu. Excitement in this arena is nearly at fever pitch as fans, young and old, and perhaps future rhythmic gymnasts look on with great anticipation as to what is about to happen on the carpet.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we have Group A of individual all-around clubs ribbon.
We'll be seeing this competition unfold in 2 groups, Group A and Group B. All the gymnasts in Group A will perform with the clubs and the ribbon alternating, and then we will go around a second time where those who have performed with the clubs will perform with the ribbon and vice versa, and then we will have the same thing with the gymnasts of Group B.
From Romania, clubs.
And here is our first competitor of the afternoon, the highly experienced 22-year-old Andreea Verdes of Romania. She is currently in 13th place with halfway to go in this competition. She begins with the clubs. excellence from Andreea Verdes of Romania, leading off with the clubs. Verdes has gained a reputation as a real fighter who can do her best work when the chips are down. She had something of a mixed day yesterday. She was terrific with the hoop. She will be in the individual apparatus final there, but she had a small mistake with the ball, which was of course disappointing for her. This routine, however, absolutely nothing wrong with that, and doesn't she look relaxed and happy?
现在上场的是爱沙尼亚选手，比赛项目带。
Beginning with the ribbon today, here is Adelina Belyaeva of Estonia, the 19th strongest performer from the qualification yesterday. A very successful display from Adelina Belyaeva of Estonia, beginning today's competition with the ribbon. Both of these apparatus present rather unique challenges to rhythmic gymnasts. With the clubs, of course, there's two of them. With the ribbon, it's very important to always keep the rope in motion, not to let it drag on the ground, not to ever let it go slack, and certainly not to let knots get introduced. And that can be a tall order. She did a really nice job of mastering everything in this routine. Belyaeva, a Youth Olympic Games team silver medalist. That happened back in 2018 at the Youth Olympics in Buenos Aires. She's a highly accomplished student and athlete. She speaks 3 languages. The first score of the day is just coming in now for Andreea Verdes of Romania with the clubs.
Clubs, final score, 29.600.
And 29.6, the number that Verdes records with the clubs. That is her second highest score of the competition. She had 29.65 with the hoop, so she's very consistent, and that should stand her in good stead for the apparatus final. And now here is Lechezara Pekova of Bulgaria performing with the clubs. 9th place in the all-around at this point. The club's performance of Lechezara Pekova of Bulgaria. Often with the clubs, gymnasts will choose to do music that is of a faster, jazzier style, and that is certainly the case with her. It's something of a departure from what we saw with both the hoop and the ball yesterday. She has really good fundamentals to her gymnastics. There was just one moment really at the top of the routine where she had a small balance error on a body difficulty, a side scale pivot. That will be a small deduction from the execution judges. But she did a very nice job of managing both of the clubs, which is no easy feat.
Raven, final score 25.750.
The score with the ribbon for Adelina Belyaeva, 25.75.
The athlete on the field play is Alona Zelenova from Azerbaijan. Raven.
Now entering the arena, a young athlete from Azerbaijan. This is Ilona Zeynalova, an 18-year-old from Baku, currently 16th in the overall competition. Ilona Zeynalova of Azerbaijan handling the occasion beautifully here at the World University Games, her first. This was a very dramatic and also determined routine. She has wonderful balances and hits terrific shapes, especially with this apparatus. There were one or two moments where some questions were posed. She really had to stretch in order to catch the ribbon stick on a dynamic element with rotation that ended in a forward roll. And there was one moment where you wondered if perhaps the ribbon tail dragged on the ground. Meanwhile, for Lechezara Pekova, 29.25 is the number with the clubs. Very nicely done for her. And now performing with the clubs, here is Azra Dewan of South Africa, a 20-year-old who resides in London and is a student in sports therapy.
Oh partigiano, mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso.
is a competitor who has really found her own voice and her own style in competition. Azra Dewan of South Africa finishing her performance with the clubs. A 5-time medalist at the African Championships. She was 6th in the all-around at this year's African Championships in Mauritius. A gymnast since the age of 8 is Azra Dewan. And for Ilona Zainalova, it is 26.65 with the ribbon.
The athlete on field of play is Denisa Stepanova from Czech Republic. Ribbon.
现在上场的是捷克共和国选手，比赛项目
From the Czech Republic, here is the 21-year-old from Brno, Denisa Stepankova, 18th in the all-around competition at this point.
Switch up the lights and close your eyes. Feel the energy inside. Chili bowl, chili bowl, chili bowl. Fire!
A fiery and fast-paced routine with the ribbon for Denisa Stepankova of the Czech Republic. The ribbon is certainly an unruly apparatus. It can get tangled up. Sometimes it doesn't do exactly what the gymnast wants it to do, and that's the challenge of it. Much of this routine well mastered, including that excellent throw from an illusion turn. She has good flexibility. Hits a nice position on the turning leaps.
Final score, 21.200.
For Azra Dewan, it is a score of 21.2 with the clubs.
The athlete on field play is Angeline Lin from Singapore. Plus.
现在上场的是新加坡选手，比赛项目
And now here comes the 18-year-old from Singapore performing with the clubs. This is Angelina Lin. The former Junior World Championships competitor. Angelina Lin of Singapore with the clubs. The gymnast who trains at the Releve Rhythmic Gymnastics Academy in Singapore and represents them proudly. This is one of the apparatus that she did at the Junior World Championships 4 years ago. And she's made a successful return to international competition here at the World University Games in Chengdu. It was a routine that matched the music, and she showed some lovely elements within. The score for Denisa Stepankova is 22.3 with the ribbon.
The athlete on the field of play is Anna Murakova from Latvia. Ribbon.
And now here is Anna Marikova of Latvia, the 20-year-old who resides in Jelgava. That is 40 kilometers southwest of the city of Riga. It is known as the student capital of Latvia, thanks to the Latvia University of Life Science and Technologies. Anna Murakova of Latvia finishing her routine with the ribbon. Some very stable work in this exercise. To Everybody Dance Now, the 90s anthem. Fantastic back scale pivot position, manipulating the ribbon at the same time. Ribbon is sometimes one of the lower scoring apparatus, and that's because the gymnasts have to leave time for the ribbon to rather do things, and so they can't do quite as much as difficulty-wise as they sometimes can with the ball or the hoop. The score for Angelina Lin with the clubs, 21.1. That is the second highest score that we have seen from her after 21.7 with the ball yesterday. To a very experienced 20-year-old from the Republic of Korea, currently sitting in 15th place, here is Kim Ju-won. A four-time competitor at the World Championships, she is at her first World University Games. Impressive work with the clubs from Kim Ju-won of the Republic of Korea. And perhaps what you would expect from a contender with so many competitions under her belt. She has been at the World Championships. She knows what that kind of pressure is like. This is not an apparatus she performed with at the last World Championships in Bulgaria, however. And in addition to performing on the carpet at major events, she was also one of the final torchbearers at the 2014 Asian Games in Incheon. The score for Anna Murikova is 25.35 with the ribbon. The highest score we have seen with the ribbon today comes from Ilona Zaynalova of Azerbaijan, 26.65. And here to perform with the ribbon, a very impressive young gymnast from Japan. This is 18-year-old Suzuki Narha. She is currently in 4th place in the all-around, 1.35 points out of the bronze medal position. It will be very interesting to see how she reacts with this apparatus. Oh, that will do very well indeed. What a confident performance from Suzuki Naruha. A gymnast who is making a name for herself at this World University Games. The music to the soundtrack of The Mask of Zorro, and she has just set the carpet alight with this interpretation. Such confident work. When you watch her perform, she really leaves you with no doubt that she is going to be able to do these elements cleanly and that there are not going to be problems. 27.85, the score for Kim Ju-won of the Republic of Korea with the clubs. She has been very consistent here in Chengdu. One of 2 Slovenian competitors in this competition. Here is Nastya Podvratnik, the 22-year-old from Ljubljana. She begins her day today with the clubs. Channeling Beyoncé with the clubs, this is Nastya Podvratnik of Slovenia. And the choice of this music and orchestration is no coincidence. Nastya Podvratnik, she is a huge Beyoncé fan. She went and saw the Renaissance World Tour in Amsterdam in June, and she said it was a huge source of inspiration to her. After the concert, she wrote on Instagram, "Many of you probably can't imagine what this night meant to me. She has gotten me through so many rough days." 28.150, the number for Suzuki Naruha, and she takes the lead in the all-around competition. 89.7, now the overall number to beat.
现在上场的是澳大利亚选手，比赛项目大。
From Australia, a 23-year-old from Adelaide, this is Catherine Linden, beginning with the ribbon today. What lovely orchestration to this ribbon routine by Catherine Linden of Australia. A flamenco-inspired piece of music, not something that many gymnasts tempt with this apparatus. It's a risk, but it seems to have paid off for her. This is the boomerang throw and catch. Throwing the ribbon with something other than the stick, and then having it boomerang back to her and catching the handle. That is a requirement with this apparatus. Somewhere in the routine, the gymnast has to do that. She does two of them and makes them both look really nice. Catherine Linden, a level 10 national champion from 2019 in Australia. The score for Nastya Podvratnik, 21.15 with the clubs.
The athlete on field play is Emilia Helin from Finland. Clubs.
现在上场的是芬兰选手，比赛项目棒。
And now the 18-year-old from Finland. This is Emilia Helin. Currently 22nd in the all-around competition. Her best score so far, 25.65 with the hoop. The club's presentation of Emilia Helin of Finland. The bronze medalist at the Nordic Championships in 2022. She comes from Javanpää, a large artist community in the early 20th century. Perhaps has contributed somewhat to her very artistic qualities on the carpet. Was the home of the famed Finnish composer Jan Sibelius for quite a while.
20.500.
澳大利亚选手在
The score for Catherine Linden with the ribbon, 20.5.
Lasting on field play is Elzhana Tanieva from Kazakhstan. Ribbon.
现在上场的是哈萨克斯坦选手，比赛项目带。
Presently in 6th place in the all-around, and someone expected to contend for a medal here. This is Elzhana Tanieva of Kazakhstan. She will begin her competition today with the ribbon, having already qualified for the apparatus finals with both the hoop and the ball. Elzhana Tanieva showing us a bit of the matrix with the ribbon and mastering it from beginning to end. She takes a load of risk in this routine. This penché pivot where the back leg develops going from bent to straight is one of her signatures. Very good combination of illusion turns there as well, combining with a throw in the catch and upping her difficulty as a result. And this is the reaction to the routine. She knows that it's good.
Plus, final score, 25.800.
25.8 the score for Emilia Helin of Finland with the clubs. That is the highest score that we have seen from her yet.
From Hungary, plus.
现在上场的是匈牙利选手，比赛项目棒。
And here is the leader, Fanny Pignitsky of Hungary, carrying in 33.25 with the hoop and 32.35 with the ball, both the highest scores with that apparatus yesterday. Here she is with the clubs. Just like all of her programs at these World University Games, this is an incredibly difficult, intricate routine. And if you are wondering what the momentary loss of the club is going to cost her score-wise, the answer is a little bit, but not all that much. When a gymnast loses the apparatus, the deduction she receives depends on what she has to do to retrieve it, how many steps she has to take. Fanny Pignitsky did not have to take any steps, well, maybe one, depending on the judge's discretion. And so she should lose only 0.5 to 0.7 for that momentary drop. Otherwise, it was very good indeed. Elzhana Tanieva, meanwhile, receives 29.35 with the ribbon. A huge reception for the athlete from the People's Republic of China, for the athlete from this province. This is 19-year-old Zhao Yue of China, currently in 13th place and beginning with the ribbon. What a moment for Zhao Yue. Performing in her home province, the 19-year-old stunning with the ribbon. The audience cannot get enough of it in this arena. It's a routine that felt like an ode or a poem to her home country. And she is always well known for paying attention to detail in all of her work. Yet here in Chengdu somehow, it seems like there has been an extra layer of care and attention that has been added to her routines. The score for Fanny Pignitsky, 31.65. So she is down ever so slightly from the way that she scored with the hoop and ball. That perhaps attributed to the small drop with the clubs. However, that clearly puts her back into the all-around lead, and at this point by nearly 7 points. We begin